I just want to start off saying I'm a professional procrastinator. So I suffer a lot from that. So I'll start off by saying I did a comic. So as the title says, my crazy path down comic lane. It's not comedic at all. And so the beginning, so I didn't do a lot of photos. I probably should have done anyway more. But so for the beginning, I just made some little panels of what I would draw into. Sadly, I only got to this one. And so there's a lot of words. If you really want to read, you can go through. But I essentially said that, I didn't do comics throughout my time as an artist, and it was something I've been interested in and I would love to do. So here was like a little description of, well, this is what I hope to get. I hope to have some good backgrounds. I did not get good backgrounds. Dynamic posing, maybe just one dynamic pose, but it's not that good either. And so the things that I need, I put a little thing here. So the main tools that I need is my sketchbook with a pen, obviously. My tablet, which I like to use a lot. My Wacom, I don't know how to say that. And then I use Pinterest to find a lot of my photos and things like that, which I'll show in the next one. And then online photos and things like that, so video tools, my tablet, Jojo. And then I'll just give a brief background. I don't want to take up too much time. So my main idea for this little comic that I was hoping to do was two characters that I made kind of on the spot randomly. And so one's a female, one's male. I don't have names for either of them yet. The world's semi-realistic, kind of like ours, but maybe a little bit more magical, because who doesn't like realism? That's just But they're both in the military, maybe Marines or Army or something like that. But the chick, the girl, she's a demon. She's banished to the human world because why not? And then she ends up enlisting in the army. And a little background on her. So she has to sustain herself by feeding off of humans. And, a war is a perfect place for that, right? People are dying left and right. Free food, come on! Sorry. But yeah, the guy, he's just your average Joe. He was drafted. And then, yeah, so I think I can put it on through here. There we go. So, how's it going? Have I given up yet? Surprisingly not. And so, let's see. So, professional procrastinator, like I said, doing it all last minute. So, let's see. So pencils, paper, etc., etc. I wrote a lot more than I probably should have. So when I make characters, because the girl character I kind of made her on the spot, but the guy I had to think about it. So when you make a character, everyone does it differently. For me personally, I like to just go on Pinterest, find a bunch of photos, smash them all together, and then just like pick random stuff from them. And so that's what I was doing. And here are some of my first drafts. I don't like that photo. It's terrible. It's ugly. But there's some rough sketches of the guy. I'll show you the photos. His eyes. Just trying to get his eyes down. Oh, not that one. There's that one. And then, so here's where I drew the girl. I actually scrapped this idea. Oh, I scrapped this idea, but this is her. She's so beautiful. Oh. But anyway, let's see. And then, so then I started making comics of them, figuring out like uniforms, things like that, just drawing characters, all that fun shazam. And then here, I guess, is more of a key part of what I was doing, the planning phase. So I started making my comics, kind of making the storyline. You can kind of see it all scribbled on the side there. And then I was planning, okay, which panel I would do what in. Sadly, so we got to that one. Yeah, let's see. Moving on. I know this one's not as fun as yours. This is really good. Suffering and non-suffering. Don't mind that. Let's see. Okay, and then some of the things that I do. Like I said, going to Pinterest and finding photos. This photo will not help them. But finding photos for ideas, fun stuff.
Do you keep major folders then in Pinterest?
Yeah, they have like boards so you can just
Yes.
smack photos into.
Yep.
And that's what I do for most of my stuff. What I wrote on these. So essentially, I guess my middle phase is talking about generating ideas, and then drawing. To be honest, I had bigger expectations in hope of what I would get out of this, but I was really punching for time. We're halfway there. Anyway, so here's a photo of the guy. Yay, it's cool. So we're halfway there. I didn't drink coffee that night. Probably should have, would have helped. So here's the 3 panels, and I was kind of describing what I wanted to do in the panel. So the general idea and premise of the panel was of our silly little guy character, that guy, sleeping like you do, then boom, bam, flashbang. I can play this if it let us properly. Flashbang. Okay. And then gunfire, and everyone he knew is off to some greater plane of existence, yay. And so he, however, was able to not die. Good for him. Plot armor. Woo. And then here's some more drawings I did, kind of just roughly planning of like panels and things like that. Fireman carry, yippee. Some gun stuff, yippee. I don't think that's school appropriate. And then here is a rough sketch, or a rough video, it's 30 seconds, of my process so far, of what I've gotten. Just kind of speed it up. Let's see.
And what do you do for this app?
So this is Procreate.
Okay, I think you told us that before.
Yeah. So Procreate, it kind of automatically like records as you draw. And so, there's it recording. There's me kind of cleaning up my sketches. And then there's that. And then the final one, the end, question mark. So here was the final product of what I got. It's not that far off from what you saw. Sadly, I didn't get to finish it all. And then here's the final video. This one's a little longer, so I'm kind of skip about halfway. So it just shows a slower process. Perspective sucks, though. I gotta tell you. I was trying to draw these cots, and they're a pain in the ass. But here's me drawing thing, poses. I don't like that other arm, so I just kind of deleted it. And then there's me fixing up the cots. They're so annoying. You can see it bends right there. I don't like that. It's not straight. But I fixed it. And then I mean moving them around. Just grabs it goes up. Let's see. So we reached the end. And so I think we're supposed to kind of reflect a little bit. And so I did reflect. I had time to reflect after I was stressing. And then I said, I'll just read this. So now that I've reached the end, the deadline, I must ask myself, what have I learned from this whole project? Well, from the bottom of my heart, I've learned that I'm not quite at the place I want to be for comic making. There's really a lot that goes into it, you know, composition, having to figure out how panels work, things like that. And then anatomy, I'm still really bad at that, but I tried. There's a lot to learn, but I still made an attempt, so it was something. My biggest enemy definitely was myself. Let's see, professional procrastinator, like I said, it's not great, nothing to be proud of. And I know the main product was, you know, incomplete, rough around the edges, but I have made other comics in the past. They're still all like unfinished, forgotten, trashed. Yeah, maybe I'll go back, maybe I'll finish this one. I'm gonna start a little bit on the comic that I just did. But here's some other comics, cringe as hell. Anyway, here's another one. This one's kind of more mashed together, this one's a little older. And then there's this one, this one's really old. This is like 2021. This one's older. This one's like 2020 maybe. But yeah.